Hey, today we're going to talk about learning to make it safe. When we are in fight or flight and we're looking for that elusive, better way, we said, first of all, learn to listen. So helpful. Learn to be an active listener and an empathetic listener. Learn to recognize when you're pretending and when you're selective and when you're just tuned out because you're overly tired or overcommitted or overphoned. Remove those things so I can do some paraphrasing, check out what I'm hearing so I can make sure that I got the content right. And then be empathetic. Look for the emotion under the message. When I'm doing that, it's going to be so much easier to make it safe. The second thing we said, learn to look. Learn to look at your own heart. Learn to look inside. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Search me, O God, and know my eyes. When Jesus said, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say, let me take the speck out of your eye when there's a plank in your own eye? First, take the plank out of your eye, then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Here's a challenge to that. Some of us are going to have conflict. We're going to have a crucial conversation on whose plank's the biggest. Do not argue whether or not you've got the plank or the speck. When you got something in your eye, consider it your plank. First, deal with your part of the problem, your issue. This is going to increase your ability to learn to look. It's looking in the mirror and saying, what am I bringing to the problem? Is my compulsion, my propensity to go into fight or flight or freeze? Is it to hit or to hide? Is it to pounce or to pout? Is it silence or violence? Where am I vulnerable to going with these crucial conversations? First, learn to look. Now, as we learn to make it safe, we want to, again, go back to me first. Go back to say, what am I doing to get this plank out of my eye? And pay attention. This is Jesus calling us to greater self-awareness. I need to ask, is there something in my motives that are impure? Am I wanting to be right? Am I wanting to win? What might I be doing that I need to address so I can deal with safety? In doing this, I've got to differentiate between the content of the conversation and the conditions of the conversation. The content of the conversation, is that right? Yeah. The content is, for Jonathan and Julie, it was about their sexual relationship. That's the content. Or it's about their finances. Are they saving or are they spending? Or they're parenting. Does Jillian sleep with us or does she cry herself to sleep in her own crib? That's the content. But the conditions is how we address the content. You've got to differentiate those. The content, these opposing positions, are going to happen. But if you don't change the conditions, your attitude, your motives, you're never going to have a successful, crucial conversation. Learn to differentiate and then deal with the condition of your heart. Does your heart want to make it safe? Does your heart want to win-win? We have to learn to ask ourselves, what do I want for me, the other person, and the relationship? This is not our first inclination. Our first inclination is to simply ask, what do I want? And if you come up with the answer of to win or to get my way or to humiliate them a little bit, it's the sign that there's a heart problem. First, deal with the safety of your own heart. Am I wanting the right thing? If I am, it's going to be much easier to do the right thing. So today, I want you just to agree with me in prayer that you're going to differentiate content from conditions. And if your condition of your heart and your attitude needs some adjustment, that's the place to begin. Lord Jesus, we ask you, Lord, to help us make it safe. And if we're bringing something toxic into the conversation, it'll never be safe. So Father, help us learn to look and then learn to make it safe. Lord, for everyone listening, Lord, give them eyes to see and ears to hear. Lord, eyes to see what's maybe blocking their vision. The speck or the log, what do they got? And how can they remove it? Help them, Lord, learn to hear, learn to be great listeners, to seek first to understand the other person's perspective before they offer their own. Lord, help us to make it safe. I'll see you tomorrow as we add to our skills. God bless.